It's an historic day at the Supreme Court. They're going to hear arguments about whether former President Trump can be banned from the ballot for his actions surrounding January 6th. Senior national correspondent Terry Moran is at the Supreme Court. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, George. This morning, the justices will hear the arguments in this monumental case, the biggest elections case since Bush versus Gore back in 2000. The question, should Donald Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election, including his participation in the attack on the Capitol, his incitement of that attack on January 6th, keep him off the 2024 presidential ballot? And this all comes down to one clause in the 14th Amendment to the Constitution, passed right after the Civil War, which holds that no person who has previously taken an oath to support the Constitution and then engaged in insurrection can hold public office afterwards. The Colorado Supreme Court, in a case brought by 6 voters there, took a look at that clause and ruled that Trump must be removed from the ballot in that state. In Maine, the Secretary of State did the same thing, and other states are considering it too, while still other states have rejected the idea. So in court, Trump's lawyers will argue that he did not engage in insurrection, that the language of the amendment does not apply to presidents, and that Congress must first pass a law spelling out how to enforce that clause. Colorado's lawyers, they'll argue that the amendment means what the amendment says, that Trump did engage in insurrection and that he must be banned from holding public office. And there's one thing that all the parties here today agree on. This is a case of national importance that only the Supreme Court can and must resolve in this election year. George?
Terry Moran, thanks. Let's get more from our chief Washington correspondent, John Carl. Terry brought up the Bush v. Gore case, which decided the 2000 election. In some ways, this is far more consequential than that.
This is a huge moment for the Supreme Court. It is a huge moment for the country. And look, George, this Supreme Court is a conservative court. 3 Trump justices. It's a court that's been mired in some controversy. But while it is a conservative court, this has not been a Trump court. In fact, this court has repeatedly ruled against Donald Trump or shown independence from him. Think about it. Trump expected his justices, as he considered his justices, to help him overturn the election results. They rejected the effort to do that in that Texas case in December of 2020. The January 6th committee wanted his White House records. Trump went all the way to the Supreme Court to try to block them from getting. The Supreme Court ruled for the January 6th committee. They even ruled prior to that to allow Congress to get his tax records. So the court has shown real independence from Trump. You know, looking at this, let's hope this decision is not one that breaks down on party lines.
No question what you're saying is true, but this is also a court that is just not going to be eager to appear to decide the 2024 election.
I mean, absolutely not. And think about how long we saw the repercussions from the Bush v. Gore case, which was so controversial and made the court seen as so much more of a partisan body. And John Roberts, Chief Justice Roberts, has clearly made it clear that he wants the court to be not seen as yet another political institution. He talks about how, you know, there aren't Trump justices or Bush justices or Obama justices. There are, you know, judges of the law. So yes, he is not going to want to get mired in this, but this is not the only one. I mean, Trump's going to try to go to the Supreme Court almost certainly. He said he's going to appeal the question of whether or not he has absolute immunity. So you could have 2 cases central to this election, absolutely central to this election, decided by this Supreme Court.
We'll see if they can come up with some kind of balancing there. John Carl.
I mean, 2 anonymous, unanimous decisions would be nice.
John Carl, thanks very much. Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.